Do you remember whenever you first started taking lessons and your instructor was giving you all these exercises and everything and you started to feel overwhelmed? So you go over there and ask, if you had to just pick one exercise to play every single day, what would it be? And then of course he's going to respond, well, if I had to pick one exercise, it would have to be scales. So in this video, let's talk about 5 different ways you can play your scales. The first thing that you can do to play scales is actually change your fingerings. Too often I see people playing their scales with just I and M, and they're not taking the use of the other fingers that are available. As guitarists, we use all the time. So change it up. Instead of just doing I and M all the time, incorporate I and A, M, A. And try to incorporate every single pattern that you can think of on your right hand to play your scales. If you're familiar with the Segovia scales, at the very top of the first page, he actually gives you a whole list of ways to play these exercises using different fingers. And the fingerings that most people forget the most is actually using their P. So if you're going to play these scales and changing up your fingerings, try to use PI, PM, PA. A lot of people just seem to forget those for some reason. I don't know why. So the second way is to change your rhythm. Most of the time, people just play the scales very simply and just stick to a speed and then play the notes evenly. Change up the rhythm pattern. Go from 8th notes to 16th notes. Put in triplets inside there. 8th to 16ths, dotted 8th, 16ths. Change up the rhythm pattern. Anything that you can think of, 5-lit, 6-lit, it doesn't really matter. Change it up from simple to compound meter. Just change up the rhythm. So whenever you're playing pieces that incorporate these rhythms, you're not having to count them or you're struggling with them at all. You're just breezing right through. The third thing you can do is volume. Now with volume, you're going to have to experiment of what you want the lowest volume to be on your guitar. So if you wanted to have double piano, you know that this volume is your double piano. And then this volume is going to be your double forte or mezzo, it doesn't matter. So those kinds of things you can practice while playing scales. So play your scales at pianissimo, play them at fortissimo, play them mezzo. Also incorporate crescendos. Start off very, very quiet and end up really loud whenever you're finishing the scale. And then of course, decrescendo. Try to incorporate different dynamics inside of your scales. So again, whenever you're going to play these dynamics in pieces, you're very well aware of what volume piano is for you. Now this can change from guitar to guitar, and of course, some instruments are going to be louder than the guitar, all of them basically. So you have to decide what at this volume, this is going to be my fortissimo. This volume is going to be my piano, and so on and so forth. And the fourth one, accents. So whenever you're playing the scales, pick a rhythm that you're going to be practicing with this scale and see if you can accent different beats. So maybe start off by accenting every downbeat, then maybe every other downbeat, and then maybe jump to every 4 beats. You really want to get to a point whenever you can accent the first note of the scale and then play it smoothly and legato until you get to the final note of the scale. This right here will help you with your phrasing. Whenever you're playing a piece, it'll be a little bit easier to control your phrasing. And lastly, speed bursts. Start off with a tempo. It can be slow, it can be fast. It really doesn't matter. But whatever tempo you choose, let's say you're going to be playing 16th notes, play your scale all the way through, ascending and then descending. And then once you finish with that scale, play that scale immediately again, this time doubling that tempo. And you'll notice that this exercise is going to help you increase your speed quite a bit. And this is probably the best way that I've found to increase your speed on exercises, on pieces. You know, you can use this technique towards everything. Well, that's it for me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll put all my socials down below. I'll also leave a link down to my Patreon. So if you like my work, you can please consider subscribing there as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.